Eyepatch has seen the CCTV footage of the incident in the warehouse and he crushes the TV with his fist and assures Big Boss that he will bring back the safe. Now through CCTV camera we go back and see what happened after Boss was killed. Maru is just standing there all silent, and while crying he tells Kim Young to attack him if she wants to. Kim Yang is scared of this motherfucker, and thinks that just a moment ago he wasn't this strong. How did he suddenly get this strong? Maru walks towards Kim and she is getting ready to equip her blade, but she is shaking, her instincts are screaming at her to avoid this man at all cost. Maru full focused and ready to kill walks forward. Seeing MC like this, Kim Young sighs and surrenders. Maru not buying her surrender points his knife at her throat and asks why is she surrendering, does she want to die faster? Remaining 3 managers rush and jump in to protect Kim and state that they shouldn't fight amongst themselves. Fat manager states that backup from the headquarters will be arriving soon, and since Director Hong is dead, they too are dead, as such there is no reason to fight amongst themselves. Other manager advises that instead of running away separately, chances of their survival will increase if they stay together, and he requests Maru to stop with the killing. Maru looks at the minions and Kim and thinks for a moment. He agrees and asks them to tell him about his sister's whereabouts. Managers look at Kim because she was the one who took the sister with him. Kim thinks about Maru's little sister and remembers that she is Naru, and Boss Hong told Kim to feed Naru, so Kim brought her to a fancy restaurant. But as we saw earlier, they were eating like pigs, so their bill exceeded the card limit and Kim left Naru to clean the dishes, and she ran back to get a new card. But when she came back, she saw the fallen cake and in anger she started fighting with her comrade Butcher who was the culprit behind the accident. And then Boss Hong gave her the buffet voucher and she forgot about Maru and Naru. Scene shifts, and we see Kim Yang scared and crying. She states that she did commit a sin punishable by death, but is Maru telling her to jump from here? And we see that the gang is in a helicopter. Kim is in her sports bra and managers are cheering her on. Managers tell her that if they go to the hospital while aiming for the restaurant, their route will get screwed up. It's best for them to move separately. They tell Kim Young to show them how she became a part of the North Korean Special Force. Kim, while crying, tells Maru that she can't do it. MC with a death stare tells her to jump. While falling she swears that she will complete the mission and managers are shocked to see that Kim made a wingsuit from her jacket. They think that nothing is impossible for this warrior. MC just looks at her while one of the manager is planning on naming her daughter after Kim. MC thinks that he needs to save his mom and Naru, but he needs to act fast. The World Group is coming after him. Scene shifts and we are at Maru's house. Detectives are investigating, but they haven't found any rescuers or any casualties. Detective thinks that there are no casualties but there is blood at Maru's house. We are told as soon as loud noises started coming from the basement, all residents evacuated, and we see the young detective approach his senior. Looking at the scene, young detective asks why all this happened at Maru's house. They are unable to locate him, and he wonders if Maru is all right. Senior detective notices the young one, and he tells him that they need to leave. Officer Lee asks where are they going, and everyone is going to the hospital where Maru's mother is. Maru and the PhD manager have arrived in the hospital but his mother is gone. Nurses tell him that people wearing suits discharged her earlier. MC gets angry thinking about the people in the suits. He knows that it could be the World Group. Manager gets a call and Kim Yan tells them that Naru isn't at the restaurant, and that people wearing suits took her from there too. MC is just boiling with anger at this point. They both run to find Naru and his mother. MC thinks if the World Group took them both they're planning on using them as hostages. MC asks the manager if there is a closed and restricted accessible place in the city. Manager tells him that it'll be the World Security Headquarters, and that the security is very tight there. MC and manager stop as we see someone enter the hospital. It's the Eye Patch and all the thugs from World Group. Eye Patch states that he didn't thought that they would meet this way. Detective Han Tasik, detective and his officer are standing in front of Eye Patch. They are both standing face to face. Eye Patch asks if detective's partner changed again. He asks how many people are going to die just because of this old detective. Detective states that this is not something a man who became the senior managing director by replacing others should be asking. Detective asks what brings a gangster like him to the hospital. Eye Patch tells him that he came for a visit. As they cross each other, Eye Patch tells the detective to take care of the people around him, because in the end only people are left. Detective tells him to worry about himself first and that this was just a waste of time. As they are walking away from each other, one minion comes running in and tells Eye Patch that Hamuro has come back to the hospital. As the minion is about to speak, Eye Patch puts his thumb in his mouth, and while breaking his teeth tells him to shut up. A detective is here. As he breaks more of his teeth, he tells him that it would be bad if this minion talks carelessly. Detective tells him that rather than people around him, Eye Patch should take care of his subordinates first, and the next time they meet it won't be at the hospital, it'll be at the funeral. Detective tells him that he'll make sure that his funeral donations won't be little. Ipatch thinks and can't believe that Maru moved faster than them. He wonders if someone else is backing Maru. And we are back with Maru. Someone greets Maru and it's a robot-looking giant guy in a suit. He has been waiting for them. He tells them to get in the car and they'll talk later. Seeing this man in the suit, MC wonders, and as he is about to take out his knife he asks if the suit guy took his mom and sister. Suit guy tells him that he did and he apologizes for his rudeness. And we see someone in sexy heels, and the suit guy, while referring to his stunningly good-looking president, tells them that she would get them in on the details. As she greets Hamaru, we are introduced to the Charlotte Hotel president Shim Moon-young. Maru straight up tells her to shove her introduction elsewhere, and he asks her about his family's whereabouts. Someone else steps out of the car and they state that everything will be explained. It's the other two managers. They welcome Maru. Dr. Manager asks where are these two coming from. He asks them why are they with Charlotte. They have received that World Group has started moving immediately, and in response to the hostile forces of the World Group they asked Charlotte for help. Manager shows them that they took care of Maru's mother and sister. They apologize for surprising Maru, but the situation was very urgent and they had to do things quickly. Maru asks that they took his family without his permission? And in anger he asks them then how are they different from World Group? Manager tells him to stop and look at the video. The video shows that World Group's team was looking for his family, and if it weren't for Charlotte, they would have found his family. MC looks at the video and then stares at the girl in the car as she tells him to get in the car, and they will take him to his family. And now we get some background: pharmaceuticals, hotels, department stores, petrochemicals, and finances. All of these are the things that the Charlotte Group focuses on. On the other hand, the defense industry, trade, distribution, construction, and security are all things that the World Group focuses on. Both companies were wearing the skin of large corporations, but in the shadows, they were fighting a fierce battle, and one man ended the long war with his brute strength. That was Boss Hong. Charlotte was defeated in the war and then divided into two: those who want to hand over the Charlotte to the World Group, and then those who want to protect and keep the Charlotte Group. By the way, the gang is traveling in his sexy-ass limousine. Maru asks what does it all have to do anything with him, and he tells her to get to the point. She tells him that Director Hong is dead, but the World Group still holds an overwhelming power. MC asks so what? Shim tells him that even though he killed Boss Hong, taking care of his family and escaping the World Group would be virtually impossible alone for Maru, but with Charlotte's wealth and information, power, Maru can protect his family, and they can help each other. As she is about to continue speaking, managers notice something and are scared. MC notices it too and bam, another car slams into the sexy-ass limousine. Driver tries to control the car but the other car keeps slamming in. Managers are slamming into each other and the sexy-ass limousine crashes onto the side. People from the other car start to come out. President Shim's head hit the window but she notices that Maru grabbed her and protected her. While she is still shocked she looks at Maru and he asks if she is alright. MC asks if it's the bastards from the World Group again. Shim doesn't think so. She holds Maru's face and tells him that Charlotte divided into two and her older brother Shim Youngji was trying to kill her, so he could hand over Charlotte to World Group, and she thinks that her brother is the one who sent his thugs to kill her. And we see a bunch of gang members surround the sexy-ass limousine. While holding Maru's face she tells him that Charlotte Group will protect his family from the World Group, and he asks Maru if he will act as her sword for a while? Maru thinks for a second and as he is opening the door of the car, he states that she would need to prove it to him, that she has the power to protect his family, then he will become his sword, and Maru equips his sword and steps out of the car, ready for battle. Scene shifts, and we see Ipatch all dressed step out his car. As he walks to the mansion he thinks that this place has been prepared very grandly. All the gang members welcome Director Choi. He is at the gate and tells them to open the gate, and we see that it's the funeral for Boss Hong. Big Boss is standing in front surrounded by all the gang members. Big Boss wasn't sure he would come but he came. Chairman of the World Group Udane asks him what about the kids who killed Hong. While bowing down to her, Choi tells her that one escaped but they found another, and it's Kim. They found Kim. Kim is all sad. She told Maru that she will find his sister, but she couldn't, and if this continues, Maru won't leave her alone. She sighs and thinks that Maru would have come to pick her up if she failed the mission, but he didn't come. Kim is now annoyed and wants to eat malatang with guo bao ro, spicy beef and mushroom curry, but she doesn't have any money in her pockets. That's that she thinks, and we see the chef scared shitless of her. She thinks that she has no choice but to rip this place to shreds, and we see a bunch of minions of World Group that came to capture or kill her. She asks her sweet South Korean comrades how much money they all got. I mean, respect to her morals. As strong as she is, she could just beat the chefs to cook something for her, but she still wants to pay. Scene shifts and we see thugs coming out the car like clowns coming out from a clown car, and facing them alone is our butcher. thugs think that if they kill the president they'll get promoted, and they remember that president's bodyguard was the big guy, right? They wonder who this anchovy guy is, and they start equipping their weapons. Thugs mock MC for being the president's lover. As this thug is mocking MC for being scared, Maru stabs him through his open mouth and into his eye, and he quickly slashes the one standing beside him. As he starts butchering these pigs, Maru thinks that killing people is scary, and wonders if it has always been this easy? He thinks that he is finally realizing what the strength of the people he has been fighting until now truly was, and we see our butcher just slicing these thugs like butter. Last thug is scared and asks who the fuck Maru is, and as he asks again, he gets ready to attack MC, but swing, his fingertips go flying and blood erupts from his remaining fingers, and as MC walks past him he slashes his hand holding the knife. Handless bitch curses at MC, but Maru puts his knife in his mouth, trying to put a smile on his face, and with one swift bloody motion he butchers the thug's jaw. MC notices the president coming out and states that he has proven himself and it's her turn to prove herself, that she has the power to protect his family. MC asks how are they going to get to his mom now without the car, are they going to walk? President tells him that no need to worry, she already called for something, and we see a helicopter approaching them, but before they go to meet his mother, she remembers that MC wants her to prove her power? And she invites him to go to the funeral of the person he killed, and we see the helicopter approach the funeral site. Scene shifts and we see or hear that some monks are chanting some mantra. I'm not going to write the mantra, and we see some muscular gangster monks chanting the mantra and praying for forgiveness for Boss Hong, and in front of them is the big boss burning incense. Some minion calls Executive Director Choi. Ipatch asks what's going on. Minion tells him that there is a problem, right outside. Hamaru has appeared, and we see MC, and you know what, let's just call her waifu, she is cute. MC and waifu looking like a couple all dressed for the funeral come out from the helicopter. Scene shifts, and we see Kim Young counting the money she got from beating the thugs. Kim thinks that these world emissaries are always causing trouble, even though they were dressed like that, they had so little money. Man, she is just a beast. Glad that the author saved her. Kim gets a call from the manager, and they tell her that Maru went to Boss Hong's funeral with the president of Charlotte Group. They need to hurry to get them out. Kim asks if Maru is at Boss Hong's funeral parlor, and now angry she states that she wants to eat yuckijang, beef soup dish, too. How could they go without best girl? Manager tells her that it's not about the food right now. Manager tells her that they are about to make some beef soup themselves. Scene shifts and we see MC and waifu at the funeral, and in front of them is an army of thugs. Thugs recognize the little bastard Maru as the one who killed Boss Hong. They wonder if Maru even knows where he is, and are planning on chopping MC to offer him to Boss Hong's spirit. Waifu asks how does Maru feel? Maru asks about what? She asks isn't he nervous? Maru states that he isn't nervous because they came here so that she could prove her power. MC being a piece of shit asks if waifu will be able to handle this. Some thug comes forward and asks isn't he the punk who killed Boss Hong? But why is he walking in with that Charlotte girl? This thug is Deputy Kim Min Suk, and right in Maru's face he asks if Charlotte was backing him up from the beginning? As he spits on the filthy bastard MC he asks if it was all an act? Someone calls this deputy, and when he looks aside to see who interrupted him, his mouth gets grabbed and he is thrown away by Director Choi, and he tells this nobody to step aside. MC is scared of this eye patch and he apologizes for making him deal with his underlings. Killing Manager Hong is no small feat, and Maru will be given the respect he deserves, and that's how eye patch introduces himself. Other members come out and they ask Choi not to hog all the fun for himself. These are the President and Vice President of World Investment Securities. They think of Maru as a gift that walked right into their hands. Other one asks if he captures Maru now, does it mean he is stronger than Boss Hong? The big three assholes are arguing with each other about who gets to kill Maru. MC doesn't want to give them any chance and is about to equip his blade, but waifu stops him and asks is this really all world stock can do? And all confident and sexy looking she walks in front of them. She asks if they kill Maru here, then what does world livestock gain? President yells at her that Maru smeared their honor and they must regain it, and killing the person who killed Boss Hong will grant them great glory. Waifu states that to avenge and uphold honor, kill the man who murdered Manager Hong and claim glory. But if they all gang up on one man, does that really hold any meaning? As she starts playing with her hair, showing confidence, and looking sexy doing it, she asks isn't the honor and glory they speak of lost if they all attack one man? She tells them that Hamura fought Boss Hong one-on-one and won honorably, and yet they are ganging up on him. Does it finally give them the confidence they lacked when Manager Hong was alive? Thugs start getting angry at the filthy girl as if she knows anything. Waifu tells them clearly that no matter how fractured Charlotte may seem, she won't tolerate anyone touching her people. If they kill Hamuro here, then they should prepare for war. Furthermore, she asks if capturing one man is worth all that? Even if they win, it'll be a hollow victory, no honor, no glory, no profit. If anyone is confident to shoulder all those losses, then take a step forward, or get out our way, you big mouth bastards, she states. All the big three are pissed, even Maru is speechless on seeing the waifu and her power. Big Boss enter the conversation while clapping and states that she has spoken like a true speaker as she addresses President Shim. And just like her father, she is good with words. Big Boss walks forward and stands in front of MC. So you're the one who killed our manager, Hong, she asks. Maru looks at her with complete zero emotions. Big Boss looks at our butcher and finds him tasty is what I get from that creepy smile. Big Boobs Boss tells the couple that they'll meet again and she leaves with her gang. Maru asks who is that woman. Waifu tells him that she is Chairman Yudane of the World Group, and the one Maru needs to be cautious of. The couple enters the funeral room without their shoes as it is the tradition, and surrounded by World Group members they walk up to the front to see Boss Hong. While looking at the boss's picture, Maru states that he didn't came here to mourn him. What he did to his family is unforgivable. MC wanted to kill him with his own hands. MC asks, but why, when Boss had the chance to kill him, did he let himself die at his hands? And why did he leave those last words, "You must live your life as a human to the very end," to him? As MC bows down, he asks why did Boss die for him and why did he say those words? MC thinks that he doesn't know yet, but if he survives, he'll find out the answer. He bows down again and tells the boss to not worry. With everything he has learned from him, he'll kill them all and survive, and we see all the gang members itching to kill MC. Waifu calls MC and tells him that now from the moment he passes this door, he'll beat her sword, and in 13 chapters this is the first time we see Maru smile. He accepts the job, and so the power couple walks out and get into their helicopter. As the helicopter is flying away, we see Director Choi smoking and thinking about Hamaru and Shim Eun-young. He throws up his cigarette and OMG, what cool panel with the helicopter and cigarette flying and Choi grabbing his hair, and as he pulls back his hair he gives a menacing smile and tells us that things are about to get interesting. Man, I love this manhwa. I was thinking the helicopter will blow up with his cigarette, but nothing happened. See you in the next chapter.